Let's talk about Eubank Smith. I want to talk about the fight with you.
Yes.
But let's park that for a few minutes and let's talk about this elbow situation. I will say this, though. There was an elbow.
Yeah.
I've seen it. There was an elbow. And I've said, look, there was an elbow, but for me, it was unintentional. Mm-hmm. It wasn't an intentional elbow. I know Liam can be a bit dirty, as most fighters are.
Yeah.
But I don't think he went to elbow Chris Eubank. He was landing a flurry of punches. He missed the hook as Chris was going back and the elbow caught him. Now, obviously, none of us, apart from Chris, will know how much that elbow impacted him. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you get hit with an elbow, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's the sole reason he lost. But Chris, it looks like anyway, and his team are saying it is, and they want the British Boxing Board of Control to have a look at it.
No, look, Chris Eubank got hit with a flurry of punches. He got hit with a massive uppercut that nearly took his head clean off his shoulders, and then was hit with another shot after it. He went down. He got up too early. He lost. That's how it is. Eubank, when he lost to George Groves, and he was beaten convincingly, he was claiming he won the fight.
Remember that.
So, like, this is, for Eubank, he's not going to come out and say, even if he said the better man on the night one, he's just going to say, no, it was this, it was that. He's not going to take the loss. So, I'm not surprised him and his team come up with a reason why he lost. The elbow probably played no factor at all. The factors was he got himself pinned up in the ropes. He made a mistake, like moving back with his chin in the air. He got caught with some shots and taken out. It happens.
Do you think then that he's just making a play for the rematch? Do you think this is already the context is being built like, you only beat me because you landed the elbow, let's do it again? Do you think that's what he's doing? Because I don't see what other reason he's doing it for.
I think so. I think maybe he's looking at the situation, and I'm sure he's probably looking at 168 and thinking, it's not going to get any easier there. He had success early on against Liam Smith. He made mistakes. So I'm sure for him, it's like, get the rematch and have a selling point. It's not just a case of Liam Smith was the better man of the night, he beat me. A bit like Wilder. Look at Deontay Wilder. He's still saying Fury cheated now. So he's maybe just using that, A, as a crutch to lean on, and B, is something to kind of go into the rematch. And I'm sure if they do, if the rematch, they have a face-off, it will be like Miguel Cotto Margarito, where he actually has the iPad saying, you see?
That's fantastic. Max Kellerman in between. That's one of my best ones. Going back to the fight then, and by the way, I'm with you. I don't think the elbow played a part. It landed, but I think Liam was on his way to getting him out of there in that corner because he started to work him a little bit. And as you say, the uppercut nearly took his head off. So, and that would have done it. To the fight, more specifically to the way in which Eubank does fight now under Roy Jones. Like I've said, Eubank's best work has come after Abraham yielded him James DeGale, where he's on the front foot and he's not trying to show us his boxing ability because, to be frank, he doesn't really have much. So he's using what he does have, which is fast hands, very aggressive. I'm going to bully you. I'm going to bash you up a bit. This back foot fighting he's now started to do with the jab, I have no idea where it's come from, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
There was moments in the fight where I did think he looked okay with the jab. Now I have to say he caught him a couple of times, Liam Smith. The jab is fast, but it's underdeveloped.
It's fast and he's got really long hands.
Oh yeah,
so it comes out. It's really got some fucking moves.
It's crazy to think he never was taught that earlier. Like he's 33 now and he's only now developing his jab. With arms like that and hand speed like that, it's crazy to think it's only now he's starting to use it. But ever since he started linked up with Roy Jones, look, Roy Jones, I loved him. I think Roy Jones is one of the best of all time. You could watch highlights for hours on end. Because he's a good fighter doesn't mean he's going to be a good trainer. And
there's no substance to it.
No.
There's no one else. Like there's no okay, but he's done that. He turned that person into a world. There's nothing.
No, there's none of that. You can criticize people like Ben Davis and all you want. Look at Lee Wood.
Yeah.
Whereas Roy Jones, he's had Chilemba and I think someone else and that's it. And none of them have done anything. And with Eubank, I think it's just, he's looking at Roy Jones and thinking, this is Roy Jones. Yeah. He's training me, so how could it not be good? And I think he's stuck in styles. You see him, especially when he fought those comeback fights on Sky in 21.
Marcus Morrison.
Yeah. You could see there was moments where he knew, right, I have this guy. If I let the uppercuts go, the hooks go, I'm going to get him out of there. And he held back. You could see it, and he was overthinking in there.
I feel like that's what he did with Liam because he landed a couple of good uppercuts in the back end of round 3. Yeah. So it's almost like, this is what I know I can do.
Yeah.
And then he went back to that, okay, I'm just going to jab off the back foot. And I'm like, come on, Chris. I wanted to shake him, come on, dude, what are you doing? And look, old school Chris might not have been able to beat Liam Smith. Liam Smith might just have a style that's quite awkward for him. But I still think old school Chris has a better opportunity. And look, it doesn't mean I'm saying get rid of... Actually, it does mean I'm saying get rid of Roy because I just don't think it's going to work. I don't think again, on paper, it looks amazing, like a Hollywood relationship. I get it, but there's no substance to it.
No,
there's like Roy's, again, as you say, one of the greatest fighters, if not the greatest fight we've ever seen. But it doesn't mean you're a good trainer. And there are other good trainers out there, but will he listen to those other good trainers?
You see, that's the thing. Like, it's the catch-22. It's like there are good trainers there that he's worked with. I mean, I think Adam Boot at one stage was trained by him, but Eubank, he was younger then, didn't respect, said he was impossible to work with. And Eubank probably looks at them and thinks, what have you done?
Yeah.
Whereas Roy Jones, it's the kind of counter opposite. It's like, he's not probably the best trainer for you, but he's done so much. Eubank is like, how can I not respect him?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's the polar opposite. It's like, no, man, you need a trainer who can train you in boxing. And maybe if they haven't done anything like Adam Smith, that's fine, as long as they can teach you how to box.
Yeah, I think the weight's a problem for him as well. And I know a lot of people have said, oh, but, you know, they look at his last, I think I saw someone today kind of tag me in something where he's been 159 for a lot of his last fights. So he's actually been below the 160 limit. And that's fine, but he's not fought for a year and he's now 33. And I just feel like he looks amazing.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's my old saying of Ferrari no engine, that there's nothing under the hood.
No.
Yeah.
And I think as well, people don't take this into consideration, is that he really did take it out of himself for the Conor Benn fight.
Stupid,
because obviously it wasn't until fight week that it was called off. So that was October. So he probably had 2 weeks off, knew about this fight, and straight back into a camp.
Good shout. Has
he really fully recovered from the Conor Benn weight cut? So...
You know, that's a I didn't even think about it. That's a fantastic show, because he literally, the Conor Benn thing ended, and he's doing so many interviews talking about it. It's not like he's on holiday and chilled and just rehydrated again. He's then literally got the phone call for this and gone straight back into camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone straight back in.
Like, how much time has he had? I think when you get to that age, you know, in your mid-30s, and you are struggling a bit at the weight, you need a good 6 months, 7 months before your next fight to fully have your body like, right, it's back to where it needs to be. Yeah. Now I can go. 3 months, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
No,
honestly, it's
straight
not
back
enough.
Into camp.
Yeah, and I think that's what people need to understand. That's why I say he's struggling at the weight. Because you're right. And he was stupid doing that thing with Conor Benn. Like, the idea of showing, I've made 159, I think it was. Yeah. Like, and I'm wondering, did he get paid for that? Like, you know, sometimes if you make weight, I've done my job, pay me something. I don't know if you got a percentage of the fee, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I'm like, if you got paid nothing for that, that's just your ego that's ruined your body. Because no guy in their 30s should be cutting that much weight if you don't need to.
No,
you're taking fluid from the brain and you're depleting your body of everything it needs. But you've done it as a way of, I done it. And I think it's a big mistake. So I think, look, there's talk of a rematch. I don't think he can make 160. I do think Liam would take the fight at 164.
I think he would as well.
Liam would do it.
I think he would.
Big money fight.
I think he would. And there's another thing as well with the fight that I think it just kind of came into my mind as well when I was watching it. The last time Eubank Jr., if someone wants to correct me on this, but I believe the last time he fought in the Manchester Arena was against George Groves. And we know he froze in that fight. And I wonder if the ghost of the George Groves fight, because you're in the same arena where it happened before.
It doesn't help when George Groves is ringside on comms as well. So he looks
down
and sees him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's weird. You get these fights that you didn't expect, and all of a sudden there's this weird beef between two fighters that 5 years ago you'd never put together.
Yeah.
You'd never put together. But I wonder if we'll see Chris again. And I know people like, there's so many options, there's money out there. I don't think Chris loves boxing. I don't think, when we talk about he's never learnt the jab.
Yeah.
I look at Chris's amateur record, and it's actually very similar to Conor Benn's and Anthony Yarde's, pretty much nothing. Look how good they are at boxing. Like, Anthony Yarde's a good boxer now. Like, no one would believe if he'd said them Anthony Yarde had 10 amateur fights.
No.
Or Conor Benn. You'd think that these guys had a lot, 50, 60. They've learnt their craft. It looks like they're in the gym in between fights. What to me, it looks like Chris is in the gym in fight camp.
Chris was always a guy where, like, he would go to the gym and he would love to do those videos of him with that wall bag. All the uppercuts. And it seems like that's all he was concerned about, just to get those Instagram pics.
He sold me on those, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I thought...
So I was like,
sold.
What?
Take my money now. When he started doing that, and then he would end with a hook and walk away, I'm like, he's the next Floyd Mayweather. I was so convinced by him. Yeah. So he sold us on that, and he never had a trainer with him when he was doing all that stuff. So there was never anyone apart from a cameraman filming him, and he just hasn't learned the sweet science of it. No. So every time he stepped up against good guys, he's been found out because of that.
Like, the matchmaking hasn't helped. Like, he loves a specific style. So square your shoulders, come forward. He will eat you for breakfast. But not every fighter is going to be like that. So when it comes time that you have to, if you want to win a world title, well, George Groves is a long range boxer. What are you going to do? He doesn't know.
Yeah. Who does Smith fight next? These are for me. These are the three options, right? Kell Brook, which I think is probably known about. Of these three, which one do you think happens at Anfield? Kell Brook, Golovkin, Eubank.
Oh, you could conceivably do all three of them at Anfield.
Yeah, all
Seriously,
three could do Anfield. Yeah, people have this love for Kell Brook.
They do.
They'd always music pops. Take my money.
All of the lights.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's that entrance.
It's the greatest entrance. It's the greatest entrance there is in boxing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I would say Ben Shalom would like to get Kell Brook. I'd say he would. I think, and look, they've sparred. Actually, I think they sparred for.
They sparred for Golovkin.
And yeah,
for Golovkin, and I think
Canelo was
both. I
fighting
think
Liam
they've done
Smith.
Canelo and they've done Golovkin. Yeah.
So there's a
didn't
bit
help
of,
either, did it?
No, didn't do anything. Didn't do any of them any help. But they're familiar with one another. But I think that, like, for probably Eubank is the one who has the say on the rematch. And I'm sure for him, it's like, what else is there? Unless you get Billy Joe Saunders back, in which case I would say, actually, take the Billy Joe Saunders fight, because there's never a better time to beat.
If I'm Eubank, Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah. And have a comeback fight, get your you-know-what together, and then Billy Joe.
Yeah, I think Billy Joe Saunders for Eubank. And I think, in an ideal world, if I'm Liam Smith, I want the chance of greatness and money. I go Golovkin. Golovkin's going to be 42 next year. Golovkin. He's lost his last fight. Let's not forget that as well. He was at 168 for that last fight. He's not going to like coming back down to 160.
No.
Who wants to be 160 at 41?
No.
Do you know what I mean? So I think you get Golovkin, still a name over here. It'll do decent numbers on pay-per-view. People want to see Golovkin over here.
Yeah.
I think that's the fight you do.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm sure for Golovkin, he's going to look at Lee Smith and think, even at 41, 42, I can still beat you.
Yeah, I'll break you in half. Look, you never know. Look, there you go. Another video in the can. Look, before we go, I need you to do two things. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and G-Man's channel as well. The big man has come all over the way from Ireland to come here and see me. Please subscribe to his channel. He just got over 10,000 subscribers. We need 20. We need 20, right?
We need 20, ideally.
Yeah, let's not be greedy. I was going to say 50, but I don't even have 50. So please subscribe to his YouTube channel. Links in the description. See you in the next video.